Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of an ink review. We review fountain pens, ink, and paper, and today we are looking at ink. This one is from Octopus Fluids Unicorn. Today's pen, we will be using the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Night Sky with a hard medium nib. I think it's a hard medium nib. Yes, hard medium nib. Hi, Robin Pennell. How are you doing today? Are you having a nice day? This is a really bright, this is a real nice, kind of dark, mysterious ink with some red sheen. Now that I know that it has red sheen, I wish that I had put it in a different pen, because this one's kind of dry and you can't really see the sheen too good unless you're really looking for it. But I'm doing pretty good. Other than my roommate trying to choke me out with smoking, so. Alright, let's do the water resistance. I'm going to move this up just a smidge. Let's do the water resistance test and see if this ink has any, oh that's weird, has any water resistance at all. I'm almost out of Q-tips. I've got like 100 left, but still I'm running out of Q-tips. I don't like these big ones. I like the cheap ones that I used to get from the 99-cent store. This is... I miss the 99-cent store. Every time I look around, I'm like, oh, I need sponges. Oh my God, where am I going to get sponges now? All of our 99-cent stores went out of business. It's just sad. Like, they couldn't have, like, did a name upgrade and called it Dollar General or One and Up or something. I don't know. It's very upsetting. This has a little bit of water resistance, but not enough that I would feel comfortable using this on the outside of an envelope for fear it may wash away. Here is our toilet paper chromatography. All I see is blue. I don't see any funny colors coming out, so that's nice. Today at 2 p.m. we will be having a YouTube calligraphy class. It's free. You don't have to worry about paying or anything like that. Just show up here on YouTube at 2 p.m. Pacific. We are going to be talking about today's holiday. If you didn't know that today was a holiday, now you do. Today is World Calligraphy Day, and we're going to be doing a little special gift for those calligraphers out there in the world. So I hope that you will join us. Hi, Wumble Bumblebee. How are you doing today? Did you hear? We're going to be celebrating World Calligraphy Day. So if you have been learning calligraphy, today would be the day to post stuff on your social medias and tell everyone how you feel about it. All right, let's do some paper review. Copperplate graph pad from JohnNeilBooks.com. I've learned that this is no longer the JNB Copperplate graph pad. It's just the graph pad from JohnNeilBooks.com. I'm going to bump up the light a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to zoom in. There. Oh, that's nice. It's got gentle shading. I can't see if there's any sheen on there. Wish I would have used a flex nib with this ink, but oh well. It does have a tiniest bit of ghosting. Oh, I have to move this. Alright. Rhodia dot pad 80 GSM. Oi. Feather like a chicken. No bleeding, no ghosting though. That's nice. This is Maruman Nimasani 80 GSM square grid. I think I'm going to go back to the dot grid and blend through the page. Too bad. This is Oxford optic paper. Oh, there we can see it. Look at that. There it is. Peeking out. Some sheen. Oh, that's nice. Optic paper. No bleeding, no ghosting. Most excellent. If I could find a notebook of that Oxford optic paper that's not in a spiral bound. Optic. Yeah, they only come spiral bound. I hate that spiral bound stuff. And it comes in flat paper, but it's too bad. Oxford optic paper. Yeah, it only comes in spiral and flat filler paper. Oh, it's too bad. Alright. Pen and Gear Heavyweight Notebook Paper. Another really good one. This one is from Walmart.com. $1.92. Nope. Walmart. Can you please? Pen and Gear Heavyweight. $1.48 right now on sale. So this is the best stuff right now. You're good. You're cooking din. All right. I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. But look at that beautiful sheen on there. And no bleeding, no ghosting. Most excellent. This is Oxford single subject notebook paper. This one's also a really nice paper. Nice sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting though. CVS Caliber filler paper. This one is from CVS Pharmacy. Another beautiful, showing off that gorgeous purplyish, pinkish sheen. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Most excellent paper. CVS Pharmacy. Let's see. You can get a composition book for $5.19. It's not the best deal, but it's not the worst deal either. It's really good paper. Alright, then we have some True Red 20-pound copy paper. I don't see any sheen on this whatsoever, and it is just it's wiggling just a little bit. And it did bleed through the page. Pelican. Oh, that's the other thing. Sorry. It just came to my brain right now. I have to write something down. I was like looking at my things and I'm like, I need to write something down. So we have a little treat. We have a couple of little treats coming. I'll talk about that in a minute. Pelican Hub notepad. No sheen. Too bad. It's a little wiggly. No bleeding, no ghosting. Why do some papers not show the sheen? Okay, so how do I describe this? I'm going to break out my iPad. So, bugger off.
I won't respond to that.
Siri, go away.
Okay.
So, here you have a flat piece of paper. If I can have some. Here we have a flat piece of paper, right? Well, some papers are more flatter than others. Some papers have a little wiggle in them, and they're not as even with their paper, and so the ink kind of pools inside of the paper instead of resting directly on top of the paper. So when the ink, some papers that are more textured than others, the ink gets absorbed inside of the paper, and therefore it doesn't reflect any light that it would bounce off of. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And some papers are more absorbent than other papers. For example, this 20-pound copy paper, all of these inks, well, except for the ones with shimmer in, look pretty flat. There's barely any shading in these because it's really textured. You can really see the texture of the paper. It's quite uneven, like there's no rhyme or reason to its structure. But when you look at a higher quality paper, you can see that there's just this gentle amount of shading, and the paper is flatter on the writing side and kind of repels the ink a little bit, so it has to stay on the top of the paper so that when it dries, so where the molecules get bunched up to a point where they become a slick surface. So the ink becomes a slick surface, and when we see the sheen, that's basically because there's a very thin, very light, smooth surface where the ink dried. And so it has a tendency to reflect where it dried really smooth like. I don't know if you've ever seen an unfinished mirror, but the reason that we have mirrors is because that was a perfect example. When they're not finished, they look really crunchy, and so you might not see the intricacies because it's all bumpy. But when you have a nice shiny surface, oh, you can see my face. But when you have a nice shiny surface, it kind of sheens more. Why am I so blurry? Oh, that's why. So focal point is also something. When you have a nice shiny surface, you can see that it sheens more. Smoother is better. Yes, sometimes. Even bumps can become reflective, depending on how smooth that bump is. So here you can see that there's sheeny, and even inside those little tiny, I'm going to zoom way in so we can see. Even when we look inside of those sheens, we can see the little tiny sparkly bits. And those are the paper bits that are absorbing the ink a little more. And see, this one doesn't have any sheen. The sheen basically comes from an oil that reflects light, kind of like gasoline. So this is why they tell you not to drink your ink, because it could have a property in it that isn't good for you. See, this one, Violet Twinkle's got a shimmer in. And certain properties reflect different light. So you might have a purple ink that sheens green, and that's just because of the way that ink was made and whatever properties in it. When the light bounces off it and goes in your eye, that we perceive it as a different color. So every ink, every thing has a different wavelength. We can only see about 10 million colors, and then there are even some colors that people can see, that animals can see, that we can't see. And sometimes they're just reflected in different wavelengths. Okay, I hope that was a good enough scientific ramble for you. Let's check out this one. Archer and Olive 160 GSM. Oh, I'm way too far in now. This is Archer and Olive 160 GSM. There's a little bit of sheen for you and some shading. Lust. Kind of a sheeny little bit there too. No bleeding, no ghosting. Most excellent. Ayush 100 GSM notebook paper. This one also has a little bit of sheen. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Tiny bit of ghosting. The journal from the Dollar Tree has a little bit of shading, a little bit of sheen. One little tiny feather right there on the R. No bleeding, tiny bit of ghosting right there. But this is really good paper for $1. I mean, can't beat that. Oh, 10-foot pole, $1.25 now. Cosmo Airlight 75 GSM. This one probably has the brightest looking sheen. Really nice. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting though. Oh my goodness, it's warm in here. Midori MD paper. Nice shading, nice sheen. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. 68 GSM Tumbleway River. Beautiful shading and sheen, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. And then last but not least, Leuchtturm 1917 has a little bit of sheen in there. No real feathering, no bleeding, oh, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Today I did the review with a Sailor Pro Gear Slim Night Sky Night. I can never remember the name of that pen. But sometimes the Sailor pens are rough. They're really rough, and I have done everything that I could to smooth that nib out because I hate rough nibs. I don't know why, but Sailor uses some sort of imperfect alloy on their nibs. It drives me absolutely batshit crazy. I can't freaking deal with it. I hate it. I just wish it was all smooth like Yovo nibs. Yovo Schmidt nibs are really nice. Okay, let me see. What color is this ink? How about a medium blue? Let's put some gloves on. One, so I don't ink the swatch cards, and two, so I don't get inky. Alright, let's see. Oh, this galaxy blue looks nice. I'm going to turn up the lights. Oh, that's too many lights there. Oh, gosh. Oh, dear. It does kind of look like Lust a little bit. I don't... These two colors are... This sheen machine I thought would have more sheen, but it's kind of flat. It's only got a little tiny bit of sheen there. And it's slightly lighter. Angelfish is kind of close. Simone is kind of close. Blue Bonnets. I like these cards. I just wish I could find them in the wild. But I'd have to order some, and I go through so many cards. This Robert Louis Stevenson South Seas Blue looks kind of close. Arctic Blast is a little dark. KWZ Azure looks kind of close. Okay, let's go into the dark blues, because I think this one we might have some more luck with the dark blues. This blue pearl right off the bat looks kind of close. Gosh, I just wish I could see better. The camera does not like this color at all. I don't know why. Polar Glow looks kind of close in the writing. Shocking Blue looks kind of close without the sheen. Okay, now we're off in a weird department over here. Alright, the Midnight Blue is getting kind of close. There's another one with Sheen Machine. This one shows the sheen more. Can I have some? For heck's sake. This one shows the sheen. I'm gonna do this, and I can keep it there. A little bit lighter, there. Ruby Blues is very close. Kind of even has the almost very similar sheen profile. Very similar indeed. Except for this one's just a tiny bit darker in the writing. TC Super Show Blue is a little darker. Water Wheel's a little bit lighter. Even this Neutron Star looks kind of similar in the without the Neutron Star has too much shimmer. Never thought I'd say those words. Too much shimmer. There's Nitrogen. Nitrogen's like all sheen. Oh, color's a little different though. Have to be careful with nitrogen because you touch it once and you touch something else, you'll always see that sheen there. There's just no washing it off ever. Okay, here we go. Here's Lust. Lust is a little bit lighter, but it's in that same blue department. These are very similar. If I didn't know better, I would think that these were the same ink. You're right. Wow, this one is just a tiny bit darker though in the writing. Well, what did you guys think about today's ink? You thinking thoughts about getting this ink? Do you have this ink? Let me know what your thoughts of this ink are in the comment section below. It looks like less. That could be the nib. Yeah, I definitely should have used a broader nib. But like, I thought that the color matched. But like, I'm using a lot. So here, okay, so I'm getting into the soup. So here are all of the rest of the colors that I have. And they're mostly blues and purples. And then this side, these three can't be used until Halloween and Christmas. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 more inks. That's it. That's all we've got. 15 more inks to review. And then I will be out of ink to review. So if you guys would like to send me some ink to review, double check the YouTube channel to make sure I haven't reviewed it already. And if you would like to send me some ink or pens or paper, you can send them to this address. It's my business address. And I will receive them and I will put them in the pile to review pile. So that's all I have for right now. I will be back at 2 o'clock with a World Calligraphy Day challenge. So get out there. Don't forget to check out my website, join the calligraphy class, check out the paper reviews page, join the Discord, and if you'd like to save 10% off on your next order to Pen Boutique or Atlas Stationers, I am an affiliate. When you use my link, you get a discount and I get a small commission so that I can make better content for all of you. I have something very special on its way from our dear friends over at Pen Boutique. I am so excited. I can't wait. If you haven't seen for your pen enjoyment. Maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So go check that out. I doubt I have any you don't have. Well, there's always that one. Waiting on a calligraphy. You're waiting on a calligraphy nib. What kind of nib did you buy? Is it a pointed nib? Is it a pointed pen nib? Or is it a broad nib? Or is it a flex nib? Ooh, a fountain pen revolution. Ooh, I'm excited. I can't wait for you. You're going to love it. Whatever it is, you're going to love it. What kind of pen did you get? Did you just get the nib or did you get a pen to go with it? I get excited when I start talking about fountain pen revolution. I just love them a lot. Well, if you have the nib only, okay, well, what are you going to put it in? Just so you know, they don't really work well with Yovo style feeds. So if you don't have one, can I have some? Oh, I must have washed it. What did I do with it? Well, if you don't have one, I would highly recommend getting a Noodler's Conrad. It's the best deal. They're like 27 bucks on Amazon. I bought the whole feed. Oh, cool. Okay. What pen are you going to put it in? I get excited. You got the Conrad. Yes! Yes, it's the perfect combination. I don't like the Fountain Pen Revolution Jaipur version 2. I don't know, something about having to fiddle or fart around with a nib housing. It's whatever. I really like the Conrad because it's all one body and all you have to do is wiggle the nib and feed to pull them out. Then, like, they're hand disassemblable. You just undo it if you want, if you need to or want to. It's such a simple, elegant, beautiful design. You got a narwhal with a porthole. Oh, I wouldn't use the narwhal. And the feed might not fit. Yeah, I also tried to use my narwhal with the flex nib. The only flex nib that I could get to work is the Noodler's flex nib, the one without the normal narwhal, the normal Noodler's flex nib, because it didn't like the Fountain Pen Revolution one that I put in that it came with. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way so I can talk about pens for a minute. I get too excited. I bought it with a Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib, but because it has a plastic feed, it wouldn't keep up with the nib, and it's because it has to go through that you can't even see it, it's so little, that little bitty hole right there, and it's too small. So I don't recommend putting it in the narwhal. And maybe with a Pilot Iroshizuku ink, or with a Private Reserve, is it Eternal? Or something very wet. Diamine, Oxblood. Something really slick, because otherwise it's just not going to come out of the pen. It refuses. I don't know why. It doesn't like me. So, something to be aware of. That was for fun. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have several to try with. Very good. I can't wait to hear what you think about those. We have upcoming, we've got some treats from AliExpress, a new pen, some new ink, and some stickers that are on their way. So look forward to those coming up very soon. That's all I've got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Get out there and enjoy your life. Be with the people you love. Tell them you love them. And I love you to pieces. Have a great day. Oh, I love you. Bye. I'll be back at 2 o'clock with another video. So take care until then. Have a great day. Bye.